Beach. Oh,
Everyone
okay.
knows Long Beach.
Okay. Where was your fight camp this last time out?
All my fight camps will be from Team Body Shop in Lakewood, California, with Antonio McKee.
Okay. Okay.
From here until shit, here until I retire from the sport, they'll be here.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. For some reason, I thought you were fighting out of Vegas. All right. That was with Evan Dunham, correct?
Yeah, see, that's old. Like I started doing jujitsu with Evan. Evan was actually in my corner for one of my amateur fights, my second amateur fight, but I hadn't trained with Evan after like I moved around. I moved around a lot. So like I was training with Evan Dunham, then I trained with uh I trained a couple times with Drysdale, but nothing too serious. He was never my coach.
Okay.
I trained with John Wood would be more of the syndicate MMA in Vegas. That would
Mm-hmm.
be more of my, if I trained with anybody, that would be my Vegas team that I would train with when I was in
Gotcha.
Vegas. But that hasn't been for 2-3 years now since that was like my first 2 years of the sport. I started with them. Now
Okay.
I'm going on my fifth year.
How were you in Portland? How were you associated in Portland? How did you move up there?
Yeah, so in Portland, I was with the American Top Team. Before that, I was with my first coach, Jermaine Hankins, with Go Hard MMA,
Okay.
and yeah, that's how everything started. That was my first, but that was my first professional fight in MMA. But I understood things, and I knew always from the beginning where I wanted to go, and I started seeing things. Your coach, your mentor, you want to make sure, even as a fighter, everything's investment. So just as much as they're investing in you, you're investing in them. And if they're doing, things that aren't necessarily good for the sport or yourself as being an elite athlete, it might suck, it might hurt, but business is business. And you as a professional athlete, this is your business. So you can't go on the whims of, oh man, but I just want to be a good person because I'm a good person. I'll ride with someone till the wheels fall off, but that can also get you hurt in this game, not knowing when to say no or not knowing when to get off the train. And the same thing with the American Top Team. They, even though looking back, they were giving me some good information. I just didn't like how they were going about it, and I didn't like the certain things that were said about certain things that were said to a couple people in the gym, and it was just like, I see how they run their show, and only the top athletes are going to eat, and I know I'm a top athlete, but I also like equality. I like fairness. I like everyone to have a chance and everyone to win. I, I like win-win situations, not I win and then you have to suffer the back end. So I ended up leaving American Top Team. Some things were said even at dinner, and I was just like, "What was, we the N word should never come into the N word should never come into play while we're at dinner, But it
Really?
did, and it was just like, okay, I see how things are going here, and I'm not gonna take any part of that. So we had to leave and cut ties, and it was what it was. I paid my dues, and that was that. Then I found Antonio McKee, and now we're here.
Cool, cool. So let me ask you quickly. So, I mean, that's pretty wise stuff for someone so young. Do you have a mentor kind of to look after you in your career, or something to bounce off these ideas and these feelings that you have? Is there someone that you had been you see as a kind of a mentor for you?
Previous to Antonio, I mean, it was my not really, like, I've always been like a solo dolo type of guy, and I feel like that's also what gets me, like, what drives you, who is inspiring you. But truly, I inspire myself. I uh sorry about that.
No, no worries.
My phone was telling me I'm on 20%. Let me get the charger. But
Go ahead.
I truly aspire to inspire. So I read a lot of books. I'm a book guy. I love chess. I like thinking a lot, and I think deeply about the world, and I think deeply about what my impact for the world should be and what it needs to be, um, and how I can inspire others. I have three. I have 4 brothers and I have 3 older sisters, and you know, I'm the only one in the limelight out of all of them. You know, I'm the only one who's getting interviewed. I'm the only one fighting, you know, in front of the world. I'm the only one being put on TV. So it's and the thing was, it was never like I said this at 12 years old. I'm gonna be the best in the world. I'm gonna be a fighter. I'm gonna be a champ. I'm not gonna be a fighter though. A lot of these fighters are just fighters, and they look at themselves like that. I said I'm gonna be a champion, and I truly believe walking a champion's path is totally different than walking a fighter's path. Anyone can be a fighter. Anyone can go to a bar and become a fighter. I got into a bar fight, but champions wouldn't even entertain it. So I'm just trying to really blaze my own path, and that's really so. Now that I have Antonio McKee, I can look up to somebody. I can say I want to be like that. I want to give back the way he gives back. I want to eventually maybe have a stable of fighters, or just manage fighters, and that way they don't have to go through the hoops that I had to go through. Because when I first signed, before I signed with Bellator, I had a bad manager who tried to hook me in a contract, but he wasn't getting me any fights. And then when I signed with Bellator, he hit me up out of nowhere and was just like, you know, I'm still your manager. And bro, I was like, bro, you haven't talked to me in like 6 months, 8 months, and now you're trying to come out of the woodworks and tell me about my fight career that I just moved forward without you. Like some of these managers will do that. So, and then my next manager, he was even, you know, getting me for a nice lump sum of money but no sponsors, no deals. And it's just like, you know, it's not good. So being a man, I feel like with these fighters, being a man of your word is bond. And hopefully one day I can get to that point to where I'm undefeated. I've done everything that these fighters or that the champions that will come to me want to do, and I will be able to put them in a position to do exactly what I did, and help them. You know.
Yeah, no, definitely. I like to talk to you. That was really very enlightening. And so, with the McKee, under the tutelage of the McKee, Antonio McKee, how is that relationship going? It sounds like it's going great. But with the mentals and but how about the physical, working out and getting ready for your fight next week?
I've always said this. I've never been as tired. I've never been as in pain uh, than I have been when I first started with Antonio. I was like, this is what they do? Is this normal? What the fuck is going what is going on here? But that's like that Navy SEAL type training where they break you mentally, you know, and once you're able to break mentally, then you're able to see how far you can go. Because once you're broken mentally, you have 2 options: give up or keep going. And if you choose to keep going, you'll see how far you can get. But if you choose to give up, you'll never make it. And that's really how I feel about the world. You know, the world is run by people who don't give up. The world is run by people who got, oh no, you can't do that. Oh no, that's impossible. Oh no, and then they're like, okay, and then they find a way. Okay, and then they make a way. Okay, then they kick down the door, and then they break down the barrier, and then next thing you know, things are changed. So I truly believe that, like with the mental, the physical, and the spiritual guidance that is given here, it's unprecedented. I've never felt it, and I'm happy and I'm grateful and happy to be here. Like I can't wait I can't wait till the world sees me 3-4 years down the road and they're like, we remember when you were young and we were interviewing you and these things started, and how do you feel now? And I'm like, well, I told you guys I'd be here, and now we're here. And so now I'm a problem. I've always been a problem, but now I'm an unstoppable problem to where these guys are not going to know what to do with me.
2021 has been a really great year. Was a really great year for you. You lodged up 3 wins, all W's, no L's. 2022. How are you looking for fights? I mean, do you have a projection of how many fights you want to have in 2022? You want 4.
I want
Excellent.
4 fights. I think that'd be just on the financial aspect. That'd be lovely if Bellator could give me 4 fights. I'm willing to, I'm willing to even negotiate, because I understand everyone has a budget. So I'm even willing to negotiate. What, because if we say we renegotiate and they increase my money, then I gotta fight less.
Mhm.
But I'm willing to do things to where I can fight more, because for me, it's about being in the cage. It's about getting the fights under my belt. That's how I feel like. That's why I feel like I got so good in the 2 years. Wait, how long was I amateur? I started amateur in the beginning of 2017. I turned pro in 2020. So about 3 years. In those 3 years, I had 9 fights. I had 3 fights my first year, 4 fights my second year, and then two. What was that? 7? Yeah, and then I had 2 fights my last year, and they in the last 5 were title fights though. So imagine having 3 fights and 3 amateur title fights in 1 year. One of those being a tune-up fight, and then 3 amateur title fights the next 3 title fights. Like, that was good for me. I felt amazed. Like, it was because it was the experience I got from being under the lights, being in that cage, making that walk. It's about making that walk. The more you get used to making that walk and understanding people are fighting and understanding the cage and understanding the cameras in front of you and understanding the press conferences, everything becomes easier. So I'm willing, and that's one thing I understand is that's why if I was to fight Pettis right now, the experience he has of making that walk, of being in that championship fight, would get to me because I've never been in that fight. But eventually, I'll have been there. So I'll have done that walk so many times to where, yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's a championship fight or a regular fight, whether if it's a 3-round fight or a 5-round fight. I've made that walk so many times that I'm ready. Let's go. It's just another day in the office.
So let me ask you, when you talk about the walk, what is going through your mind as far as the walk goes? I mean, are you trying to blank out and just focus? Are you focusing on your opponent? Do you have just every kind of thought in your mind? What's going through your mind when you're making that walk? I mean, you talked about it so eloquently.
Shit. Don't look like a damn fool in front of all these people. You better not lose in front of all these damn people, because world is watching. If the world is watching and you lose, then now you're known as loser. And you're not a loser, so you better win. So do what you do best and win. And that's all I think about, man. Just winning. And do it. And sometimes I think about doing it fashionably, doing it so the crowd goes ooh and ah. At the end of the day, the crowd doesn't care whether you lose, or the crowd doesn't care whether you win. They care about when you lose. They gravitate more when you lose, because then they're like, man, he's human. But I want people to know I'm not that guy. I'm not like Mayweather. Mayweather's untouchable. No one will beat Mayweather. No one would have beat Mayweather in this lifetime or the next, because he understood the power that he has, and that's that God particle inside him. And that's what I truly believe that people miss, is that God particle inside them. So I want people to know that I'm not the big G, but I'm walking with the little G, the little God particle that's inside me. So when I step in that cage, I'm not fighting for just myself. I'm not fighting for just my family. I'm fighting for the ancestors and everyone who came before me to put me in this position to fight. To the spirit that's inside me, it's something to behold. And that's why it's like, when I fight, I'm not fighting to just win. I'm fighting to dominate. I'm fighting to let people know that, as I get better, I will become more untouchable, and the gap to catch me is just going to keep increasing and increasing and increasing. And eventually they're going to be like, how am I going to win? They're going to have to think about how they're going to win. They're going to have to be like, how can I beat him? What can I do? And that's what I want everyone to think about. How can I beat him? How can I win? What can I do? Can I take him down? Man, but taking him down, he's dangerous off his back. And then he stands right back up. Man, if I stand up with him, he has elusive striking. He's really good at striking. He can knock me out. He's precise. He's accurate. He's all those things. Okay. What if I just rush him? Man, but if I rush him, he's really good at countering. Like, I want them to have all these questions before they fight me, you know?
So three stoppages in your last three fights. Prediction for Chris Dissonel, your opponent next week at Bellator 274.
Nothing's changed. The plan remains the same, man. Dominate, win. Every second of every minute of every fight, dominate. So, whether I don't really have. I'm not Conor McGregor in that sense of Mystic Mac, but whether it's a submission or it's a knockout, I will dominate, and the fight will be finished within 3. That's for sure.
Excellent, excellent. Well, Jaylon, thank you so much for your great time. You're
Thank you,
up and
brother.
comer. Hopefully, we'll talk to you this spring, probably when you fight next, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yeah. After this fight, we can even do another interview, brother. I'm down.
Oh, hey, Colin, you heard that? Okay, awesome. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Jaylon. I appreciate it. Good luck next week. We'll see you later.
God bless.
Bye
Thank you,
bye.
brother.